ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Let me start off by saying that I don't think Breath of the Wild is in any way a bad game. I've got 400 hours in the game, spread over 2 playthroughs and some challenge run. So it's definitely doing something very right. But overall, I can't help but think this game doesn't deserve the must-play masterpiece critical reception it has garnered. Think of this as less of a review and more of a critique for ways to do things better. The next game is most likely going to use the same engine, and if it follows the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask example, then Nintendo has an easy game of the year if they fix this game up a bit. This game looks stellar, even though it has no right to be, considering it's running on a glorified handheld, but I genuinely mean it. The graphics are definitely leaning on the stylization side of the uncanny valley, but when this game wants to, it can look great. There is genuine beauty as an intrinsic reason to explore this glorious world. When it fucking works. Like I've so gloriously boasted, I've got a quite ungodly amount of hours in this game already.
You must hurry, Link.
So believe me when I say I've seen my fair share of performance hiccups to full-on epileptic convulsions when you do things the game doesn't quite expect. And I'm not talking about the things you have to go out of your way to break, but just stuff that you think should work for this to be a truly seamless world. Exhibit A, going too fast. Like you don't even need to go god tier speedrunning speeds for this to happen. Just get a fast horse or master cycle 0 and floor it, and the game loses its fucking mind. But quang, it's a handheld. Of course it's going to be a bit slower at loading stuff in. Okay, well, how about the times when it straight up doesn't load the stuff in? Same applies to some barriers where you can go through in a time where they don't exist and then reload, and now suddenly they do exist. Like what? I seem to remember a guardian here. Oh wait, there was. I wish I was making this up. The game can often fail to render parts of the actual game if you go a bit faster than Link speed, but still 9,000 times slower than speedrun speeds. And these are the only things I notice. God knows if there exist instances of this elsewhere, because despite this absurdly long playtime, I've yet to completely explore and memorize every part of the map. So yeah, Nintendo, fix that right. If you put work into something, then you might as well put a bit more effort into making that thing exist. Side note, fix the frames please. I'm no 60 FPS or die kinda guy, but this game can tank the frames. Usually when the frame rate drops, that's when you know things aren't going to work right. So I guess that invalidates my previous point, but fixing an issue with another issue isn't a good enough fucking solution. Exhibit B, render distance. You know what I hate? Having the most vibrant believable world that works on an amazing chemistry engine that works so fucking well you can have fun just fucking with it, and being presented the endless boundless world where you can go anywhere. And then seeing something pop into existence right in front of your eyes. When things don't exist at all, they come into existence in front of you, if possible. Although I do admit it's ambitious. MGS5 dealt with the issue by having a short render distance, but dynamically scaling it up when you zoomed in with the scope. Maybe a similar system can work for the Sheikah scope, because seeing things properly would really help with immersion and gameplay. The point of all this is to say that I definitely prefer performance and gameplay over the game looking more realistic with high resolution textures. The game is already impressive enough with art direction that sacrificing all this just to say that yes, you can reach that arbitrary number of tiny squares on the description page is just not worth it. I'm no game developer, and I'm talking out of my ass. So that whole MGS5 thing might be impossible, and optimizing everything to work seamlessly without dropping to this resolution might be impossible. But, come on, Breath of the Wild made a gazillion dollars, you can definitely try. I've watched every cinematic twice, found every relevant diary I can, and this story is kinda lame.
You may not yet be at a point where you have fully recovered your power, or all of your memories. But courage need not be remembered, for it is never forgotten.
Non-linear stories are great and welcome, but when it builds to this utter lack of anything, it's a bit disappointing. I won't go into this too much, because the focus of this game was clearly to develop the gameplay, make all the monies, and launch the Switch into the fucking stratosphere. But if this next game doesn't deliver on a more significant story, boy will I be disappointed. Also, I know it might not be casual consumer friendly, but if possible try to go less Skyrim and more Enderal in its direction. Honestly, this is endless. I brainstormed for 5 minutes, so I don't know what Nintendo can do. I'm waiting with optimism. Oh god damn it. Breath of the Wild is an amazing game. There are definitely a lot of things it does right throughout your adventures of Hyrule that warrant the praise it has received, and in my opinion is leagues ahead of Mario Odyssey. But it could be a lot better, and I want it to be a lot better. In a lot of technical aspects it's impressive, but as an experience it's not quite there. Quite where, you may ask. On the level of Dark Souls 1.